Hey, happy Friday. I am waiting for Annie to get on, and she and I are going to be talking to you all about the change of season and what that does to our skin, and then what we can do to support it with our skincare. So let's wait for Annie to get on here. As you guys are watching, please let us know where you're watching from, whether you're watching it live or if it's a replay. And it's still pretty warm here, but summer is officially ending next week. So we're gonna start to see this change of weather, and hopefully the information that we share today will help you. Okay, I think I see Annie is on now. Hey Annie, let's bring you onto the screen. I have kicked off our topic and we're ready to chat. Let's see. Bear with us as we do this quick little step. Annie, I sent you a request. Oh, where'd she go? Right, I'm just gonna make sure this is plugged in. Here, okay. While I'm waiting, I'm gonna show you guys the lipstick and lip gloss combo that I've been loving that I think is great for fall. This is our lip sheer in Twig that I'm wearing. I had a pink color on before, so it's kind of layered. But I love this as a neutral, and it smells wonderful. Beauty Counter uses an ethically sourced vanilla, which is new in both of our lip glosses and lip sheers. And this, did you catch that? It has a magnetic click. I love that. So there's no lipstick tops coming off in your purse. And then this is it called Spice? And it just has like this really nice, very light mica in here, and our mica as well is ethically sourced. And look at this. This just goes so well together. I love it. Lip gloss, lipsticks, those are some simple things we can do for ourselves at home, even if we weren't going out. Okay, Annie said she had to take a phone call, but hopefully she's able to get back on here. Coming soon. I love how the gloss is hydrating, but it's not sticky. Annie, welcome back. I just did a quick little lip demo while you had to take the phone call. So I showed off Tara and Spice. It's my favorite combo for a fall neutral look. Okay. Annie, are you able to request to come onto screen? Oh no. Well, I'll just cover a quick intro. Oh, here we go.
I am so sorry.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. There's lots going on. So
yes.
We'll dive into it. Thank you all for your patience. Annie and I, for those of you guys who don't know us, are cousins. And this will be my 4th year helping my clients in transitioning their skincare from summer to fall and then into winter. So I've learned a lot in that time frame in supporting a variety of different skin types. And Annie joins us with a wealth of knowledge she has been practicing as a dermatology PA for over 10 years and working with clients in that space, and has also been a Beautycounter lover user for a number of years. So we are going to dive right in, and I want to start off with asking Annie a question. Do you have a fun visitor?
I do. But I missed it.
Hi. So I want to start off by asking Annie, can you tell us what happens to our skin with this next?
Whoa, Annie. Yeah, it's a really good question. Very appropriate question this time of year. Certainly. Hey, Charlie, I'm going to need you to be quiet, please. I'm on the phone, okay? Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's go. Yeah, so what happens to our skin? Okay, I'm going to see if I can move rooms here really quick and do this without interruption. Thank you, Charlie. Okay, give me 1 second.
Thank you.
Maybe I should be doing these calls from my office in between patients or something.
Okay,
yes,
how we juggle.
Exactly. So that's the beauty of this business, though. We can do it anytime, anywhere. So to answer your question about what happens to our skin from the summer to the fall. So we start to see the air get a lot colder, right? And our skin will start to lose water. So in dermatology, we talk about something called transepidermal water loss, or TEWL, a tool. And that tends to happen a lot more as the air becomes drier. So when you have the heat and the humidity in the summer, it almost acts as like a natural environmental humectant to keep the skin moist. And we lose that as we move into the colder months.
That makes sense. Okay, so maybe a simple question, but what do we need to do so that we can prevent our skin from being dry when we make this transition?
I think most of us think like just add more moisture and
Right.
just keep moisturizing and over moisturizing. And certainly we do need to add maybe different types of moisture, and combinations are often helpful. And we can talk about that a little bit. But certainly exfoliating becomes even more important because we need to get rid of those dead skin cells on the surface so that we can get better penetration of that moisture. Moisture doesn't really do anything if it's unable to penetrate the skin. And then also there's a lot of consideration about like the temperature of the water that we're using on our skin. And oftentimes we, wash with, lukewarm water and pat dry with a towel. Especially important in the fall and winter months is to start using warm water to rinse, but then to actually move into cool water to minimize not only pore size, that's actually kind of a hack for minimizing pore size, but also to minimize that transepidermal water loss.
I love that tip, and that can be also really helpful in the shower for your body, especially if you experience typically some dry skin, arms and legs.
Yeah,
Awesome.
For sure. Tell our patients with eczema in particular, people that suffer from truly dry skin, to shower in lukewarm water really year round, to really try to avoid hot water. And that goes for baths and hot tubs and other things too.
Yeah, and a good tip for the kiddos as well.
Yeah, certainly.
Okay. Awesome. So you talked about, sorry, itchy nose, this combination. So when it comes to skincare, how should we change it? Let's say right now we're just washing our face, or let's walk through that scenario, and then let's walk through the scenario of we are doing all the steps.
Yeah, so I think in in a perfect world, the most important thing would be to start to follow a regimen. And a regimen helps build upon each other. So you start with a cleanser, and that's going to be, skin type dependent and depending on, kind of your goals, and we can get into that. So you start with a cleanser, and then we prep the skin, and prepping the skin is much more important than we think. I used to think as a younger person, like toning the skin was really just for like either wiping off makeup or to for acne prone skin with like a salicylic toner, but really a essence or a toner is really helpful to kind of create a pathway, if you will, into the skin for better penetration of what follows it. So then what follows that? So the next step is going to be treatment. And we will have a special shout out to our serums here. Treatment is really going to be with serums. And there's multiple serums that we can choose from. We can talk a little bit about that. But after that, you're going to want to protect or sort of lock in that moisture with either a moisturizer or a sunscreen afterwards.
Awesome. So should we talk about, okay, so if you are just cleansing right now, you want to look at adding in these other steps, right? Because they're all together. And like you said, when you just layer moisture on top of moisture, it doesn't necessarily mean that your skin is going to be able to receive that. I've seen a lot of times where my clients choose like a really thick moisturizer and they find that their skin isn't more hydrated. And it's because maybe they're not following the treat step or the prep step, or maybe they haven't exfoliated enough.
Exactly.
Layer of skin that's dry and, dead, and it's blocking the ability of the moisturizer to really do its job. And that's how I like to think about the purpose of that prep and treat step, is to make the moisturizer more effective and allow it in.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and then if you already are following those 4 steps, what might you do a little bit differently? Is it using the same products? Is it changing the products?
Often it is changing the products or adding a product. So it's very much dependent on what you're already using. But certainly adding a more hydrating serum, in my opinion, like anything with hyaluronic acid right now is going to be awesome. My dog is chewing up everything that's on the floor in here. So adding that kind of serum to better penetrate, like deeper into the skin, not only deeper into the skin, but also more long lasting. Hyaluronic acid is our natural binder of collagen. So you're going to find more long lasting results that way.
Awesome. Okay. So should we talk products in specific that we would recommend?
Yeah, certainly. So this time of year, I think a lot of us start adding, like you said, kind of that thicker moisturizer. But really it's dependent on the type of skin that you have. Is it more acne prone? Is it more combination? I have a lot of patients with like really T-zone type skin that gets very oily on the T-zone and really dry on the cheeks. And the thought there is actually that we need to balance that out, because if you're producing a lot of oil, often I like to treat that with oil because your body's rebounding to its lack of hydration in those areas. So I often will add like number 3 balancing oil to that patient or that person's regimen. And I find that's really helpful. So even just a couple drops of oil to your moisturizer you're already using is really helpful. And then I love adding the adaptive counter match lotion as well.
That's awesome. Okay, those are great. You could take what you're using today and just proactively add in a face oil mixed in to help out it.
Hi, honey.
Balm, another great addition. The cleansing balm is a solid product that acts so extremely hydrating. You can reapply it as a second step as night.
Right.
Another thing I've seen clients do is double up on the Supreme cream. They have really dry skin. Using the Supreme cream, which we typically recommend in the counter line for night, as a morning. So that could be something that I love that in the
yeah. I think that's a great idea. And I think here too, adding in, if you're not already using it, the Counter Plus overnight resurfacing peel is an awesome way to resurface or exfoliate the skin without physical exfoliation. Because if you're already physically dry on your skin, you don't want to manually exfoliate dryness off. That will be very irritating.
Okay.
It's only if you don't have, flakes or dryness where that would be appropriate.
Okay.
And that goes for using a Clarisonic or what's the other, Foreo? Yeah. So I think that's something to really consider is what are you already using, and then could you add in something with glycolic acid like the overnight resurfacing peel?
That's awesome. So if you're feeling just like overall tightness of your skin, then you could do maybe a combination of a physical product or tool, right?
For sure.
But if you get to the point of flaky dryness, you want to avoid those tools because those can be more harsh.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. And hopefully by proactively incorporating, you prevent from even getting to that stage, right?
Right. Yeah, that would be the goal. And this is why we're talking about that today, because the fall starts in a few days, and this is the time to start making that consideration. Even if it's still 90 degrees out where you live, the seasons will certainly change, and it will become cooler at nighttime, especially. So we have to be really considerate of that.
It happens overnight. And I think also for those of us who are coast, we're facing a much different climate because of wildfires and smoke. And that's going to have an impact on our skin. I mean, that's certainly drying out the air, and we're spending more time. So
yeah,
I think
already changing.
The hot temperatures, we probably should start doing these things right now.
Exactly.
If you, let's see. I want to do a special shout out on serum and a quick little story, and I want you to kind of weigh in on this. So it was regimen, kind of, but it wasn't regularly using a serum. And the serum, and blown away how happy time. And so but I always think of my serum as like my multivitamin for my skincare, because it gets absorbed deeper than a moisturizer. How can you explain the benefits of that if you're not using a serum today?
Sorry, it kind of cut out there, and I missed the preface to that question.
How can you explain the benefits of the serum and why that might be something good to add into your skincare if you're not using one today?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it certainly adds that layer of vitamins into the skin, or your kind of your more binding minerals that are going to be really helpful at keeping that hydration. So when you're transitioning from the summer into the fall and you don't currently have a serum, the benefit to doing that is going to really be dependent on what your skin type is and what serum you're adding. So for example, if you're not using a vitamin C serum yet, and you add that right now, as opposed to adding that like at the beginning of the summer, because that's also a beneficial time. You're going to be getting a lot more sun exposure, and vitamin C really helps to break down free radicals, and it's an antioxidant. So it's fantastic for when you're going to be exposed to the sun. But when you're thinking about using or starting a vitamin C serum in the fall, the benefit to that is that you're going to get better penetration of whatever moisturizer you're using, hands down, because your skin already will have this antioxidant pathway that should really help to retain moisture. The antioxidants that are in there are naturally anti-inflammatory too, and inflammation is often the culprit when it comes to dehydration in the skin. So thinking of it that way, so that's sort of the nitty-gritty of vitamin C. Awesome. If you think about something like the Counter Match serum, that has a couple different types of acids in it that are naturally and very gently exfoliating the skin, as well as hyaluronic acid, which, as we know, is the hydrator, the kind of the big powerhouse. So adding that in now is going to be an extra layer of hydration. The serum is the first step before you lock it in with a moisturizer. So it's kind of a thinner, more potent version, if you will, which still needs to be locked in with a classic moisturizer.
That's awesome. Great explanation. Thank you so much. I love this. And so I've heard you say the importance of hyaluronic acid a few times. So that also gets me thinking about the importance of choosing the right makeup. And so I think fall time, we kind of get away traditionally. Like I go from using my Dew Skin, my lightweight, light coverage, to more of a typical foundation. And our Skin Twin foundation has a ton of hyaluronic acid. So that should also be a really nice supportive dual step, right?
Exactly. I think a lot of my clients right now are starting to run out of their previous concealers, or maybe they started with skincare and they're ready to start with Flawless in 5. Yeah. This is a perfect time to start a makeup that has hyaluronic acid because you're going to get that benefit of the hydration.
And Annie and I were chatting earlier about the different coverage complex with Skin Twin foundation depending on how you apply it. So use your hand or cover. Something like our retractable brush, you are going to coverage. So it's really flexible, which I love. And with one product, you can accomplish multiple looks.
Are you wearing it right now?
Oh, actually, I'm not.
You're not?
Where?
Want to say hello?
Hi.
Say hi, Sally.
Hi. Hi, Charlie.
I'm just finishing up, okay? It'll be a few more minutes. Okay. I need to lock the door already.
But I think this has been so helpful. Thank you so much. I was going to just add in one little tip that for those who really turn to microdermabrasion during the winter months, with their esthetician, something you can do from home that's really affordable and super easy. I don't know if you can see this. It's this little mini bottle of microdermabrasion crystals. And what I like to do is sprinkle and do it at home. That's a fun tip. If you guys have product that might be a good fit for you, reach out. We're happy to answer your questions.
Yes. Thank you for putting up with my multi-room transitions and my children, but hopefully my dermatology brain was still working and you got some good insight.
It was working so well. Thank you. Real life.
This is real life.
Have a great day.
Thank you. Take care.